Hello and welcome to Beelzebub's Buns channel. Today we are playing FarCry Primal. I am a huge fan of the FarCry series, and so when I heard about FarCry Primal, I was taken by surprise of the time period that they were going back to. Those that are a big fan of the FarCry series just as much as I am will know that there's been this back and forth battle where the developers will go from a tropical island to Africa, back to tropical, and then parts in India. Now this going back to what was Central Europe at the time, you get to see these awesome trees that are just massive. There's no denying that this game looks absolutely beautiful. Even from Far Cry 4, it has definitely improved a lot from the draw distance to the way the lighting is. I think it's just one of those games that really stands out as far as graphics goes, but once we get to the gameplay, I'm going to talk about that here in a moment. Crafting is now a major part of the Far Cry series, and so it's always going to be here. Now, you may not have your firearms that you do have in the modern shooter Far Cry theme, but you do have these clubs, spears, and bow and arrows. So you can start to craft those, and you can only get better with these. When you first start playing this game, it is very good at showing you how to craft certain things, so you're not going to get lost if this is one of your first games ever playing where you're actually crafting something. But after a while, it starts to get a little repetitive. However, the more that you play this game, just like with any kind of Far Cry game being so huge, it's going to get better and better once you start taking out more forts that are more established. One of the things that I tried not to think about as I was playing this game, but I ended up thinking about it, is just how cool it would be to actually take out a firearm and just start laying waste to all these cavemen. But this game isn't like that, and if you're looking for a kind of game that's your average shooter, well, you're going to have to look elsewhere. Now, let's talk about the Far Cry series on a different note. What I love about the Far Cry series is that it still has its innocence, really. When you think about all the shooters that are out now, usually military shooters, they all have the aim down sights, the basic weapons, grenade, reload, and perhaps some melee if it's effective enough. But a lot of games are falling within that realm of us assuming that there's going to be a shooter that has aim down sights and it's going to be fast paced, and it's something that we're going to base it off of this formula so much. Far Cry Primal has definitely toned down the tempo of that type of game, yet it still immerses you in this fun frenzy, bows and arrows, and it shows what a spear can actually impose on a person. You're not just going around and purposely shooting bows and arrows at people, but you actually have to hunt, and what hunting is going to do is it's going to give you food, which is going to help you in healing, and it's going to help you in crafting, and it's just a way of survival. And you're going to see a lot more animals that are in this game than you saw in any kind of Far Cry. And as we talk about animals, you can actually tame animals, as most of you probably already know. Here I'm taming this owl, and I'm searching for a wolf to tame and use as my partner. Now, the thing about taming animals is that it's going to hinder you when you're trying to be stealthy. But if you're looking for absolute bloodshed, go ahead and take a wolf with you, or a saber-tooth. Anything that you want, really. You still have the classic distracting enemies with a rock and going and assassinating them. Not only will this remind original Far Cry players that this gimmick is still in here, but it does come in handy when you're trying to get into certain areas and you don't want to take on so many enemies. Yes, the fire spreading in the grass and up into the trees is still here. This can definitely be for your advantage or a disadvantage for you. As you're walking around in this game, up in the trees, you'll find sacks of either meat or bones, and it's going to be helpful for you if you need health or if you need to craft something real quick. The instinct vision is here, and it actually derives from the previous Far Cry games, and it does help you out in a lot of situations where you're trying to find wolves, any kind of wolf tracks or any kind of other animal tracks that you're either trying to tame or hunt. As you see here, I got some meat in my hands that I'm going to actually use to bait the wolf into going and eating, and then this is at the time where you can go and tame them. You'll just go up behind them and hold down X. Oh, you're so cute, little wolf. Come here, who's a good boy? Yeah. You ready to go murder cavemen? Yeah, I thought so. There's a part in the story where it explains why you're able to tame certain animals so easily, but obviously I'm not going to spoil that for you. It's just kind of funny when you go up to a wolf and then all you have to do is put your hands up. I mean, it kind of makes you want to try it in person. But what you're going to do when you have this wolf is that you can use it to attack people, as you would think. And we're going to go ahead and sick this wolf on this guy here, and he's going to go around. This poor fella, he's either going to turn into a werewolf or he's just going to be dead. So it looks like he's dead. At night, trust me, when you hear howling, you may want to actually be on your guard just a little bit, because the wolves are numerous. They do travel in a pack, and they're not that easy, especially if you're playing on hard difficulty. And you can go up behind people as well. You could either use your wolf as a distraction, as I did say that it's not really that great for stealthy approaches or anything like that. But we're going to go ahead and try to, I don't know why we want to kill this guy, but we're going to go ahead and do it. Survival of the fittest here. This section here was used for using your wolf, but I went ahead and killed the last guy, so you get Beastmaster right there. And this is just going to add up to all the animals that you're actually able to tame. This gameplay is from earlier on in the game, so as I had said before, you do have a repetitive start in this game, but once you start playing more and more, you're going to see how much this game will flesh out. Literally flesh out. Headshots are great. An arrow sticking out of the enemy's head is always a sight to go see once they are all dead. Maybe there's a weapon that can take off body parts. Maybe I'll just have to play a little bit more to see if there's some heads that fly off. But in any case, having fun with it so far, and if you're really curious and you actually want to try this and you got an open mind, I'd say go ahead and pick this up and start playing it. But if you're looking for that shooter that we usually get from time to time, you're gonna have to look elsewhere. But you do get not a dog, but a wolf. Yeah, a wolf. Hey, that's even better than a dog. This has been Beelzebub's Buns. Gamer tag is Ghibli Giblets. If you like this video, leave a like and go ahead and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.